600. You and 600, you guys was, you know what I'm saying, homies and everything at one point, and then things went sideways. I think you pulled up to fight him. You know what I'm saying? You had Big U with you and everything.
This what happened, man. From day one of me being on the internet before all these with this trolling shit, I was very particular in the people I chose to troll or to engage. And when it came to street and affiliation, whether people realize it or not, your affiliation had a lot to do with it. So I'm from Roller Coaster, traditionally, historically. A lot of my connections, bonds, and friends are from that. And before I had an opportunity to have a personal disagreement with 600, he was vouched for by some reputables from 60s. Now, I know it's a pecking order, it's a status. We got homies that they gonna protect, whether no matter how we view them, we gonna protect them from everybody else. And then we got homies, it's a different shit. So in general, when 600 was introduced to me, he was in good graces with some people that I respected from 60s. Then I know how internal go up, down, in, out. So when I start seeing him have up and downs with people I respected, I just felt like it was wise for it not to be my business, not to engage in the trolling with 600. You know what I'm saying? So it was less of a personal respect and more of a political respect, because I've learned this a long time ago. When you start dealing with members, regardless how personal the issue is, when you have a issue with them, 9 times out of 10, you're implicating their homies, because that's what our whole essence about, riding with our homies, being down, supporting, you know what I'm saying, having each other back. So when you're dealing with members, creating issues that can be more that can go bigger than just having some fun on the internet, I always steer away from that. I'm very responsible as much as I can be. I have too much experience in the street to try to allow any of my internet or hip hop activities to become part of that. I try to avoid that. I had just been given 600 a pass just based on, you know, I'm not into even getting at keyways first, nor members, real official members in good standing. I steer clear of that. So even though it was apparent or obvious to a lot of people that 600 wasn't necessarily in good standing, I just thought it was better not to jump on his bumper trolling me. And we had an agreement. A lot of people that I was cool with, shout out to Damu Keyways Conversations, one of the biggest growing West Coast, fastest moving platforms on YouTube. They was kind of like really questioning my position as it was in regards to them, because I wasn't engaging in trolling 600. I just had made up my mind for whatever reason. It had nothing to do with any special amount of love and respect for 600, rather for the entire situation, and didn't want to, just thought that would be the wisest thing. But out of nowhere, to blow my mind, I don't know what would cause him to do so. He just went out his way to do a video. And not only did it do a video addressing me and titling it a warning toward me of not to refer to Ho No 100 as CS2 back, or it's gonna be up. And he chose to start that video by cocking a gun. Then throughout the process, somehow he ended up going on the east side, somehow trying to troll me. And you know, I don't haven't gone gang banged in a long time, but when he chose to make those type of actions on camera, I fell victim to my more mature side. And I thought I owed him a gesture to go outside to counter that. And the content you saw that was developed was me countering those actions by 600.
Where were you guys when you went out there?
Well, the first section that I went up to I was on Crenshaw and Slauson. So I gave him 60 minutes, told him I was in the 60s, still trolling, making content. I'm in the 60s for 60 minutes. I need my 60 seconds. So I hung out in his hood for about an hour. Then he had took it upon himself to go to a section in my section to troll me for a very brief amount of time. So I took it upon myself to go there and wait another 60 seconds and have some of our people that we both know reach out to him. And my main goal, to be honest, was to do exactly what he did, but a bigger version. Make a presence on the internet, and I felt like I had to respond. So, you know, I was with whatever came with it, potentially, but I stepped outside and turned my camera on and went in the streets because he did, trying to shine a certain type of light on me. So I just felt like, fair exchange ain't no robbery. It was my turn to go outside and go and do something similar.
Now, since that day, have you guys talked or resolved any issues or anything?
One time, Poetic Flacco surprised me on a FaceTime, I can recall. And we talked a few times right after that. He recorded me one time, and then, but every time we call, I'm not no nigga that's ever gonna argue or talk tough on the phone with nobody. So no matter what our intentions is toward each other, no matter how sinister, I will be sarcastic, trolling. You may even be able to record me, finally hearing me saying, I'm scared, oh no, please don't. And you hear that in the conversation, you might record it and play it for the world. All right. I'm not gonna ever be caught up on the phone talking threatening, derogatory. I don't even engage. Feel me? I probably had my last argument years ago, bro. I just don't do none of that. I'm not into threats. I don't talk tough. I get confused with some of the other cats sometimes because I laugh at goofy shit. And maybe my presence is kind of, I don't know what it might be, but I don't really be doing nothing but laughing at goofy headlines. I really don't care about what no street is doing when it comes to the internet. It's none of the internet business. So when real street business get on the internet, I try to steer away from it.
You mentioned the recording of the phone calls, man. Why is there so many phone calls being recorded nowadays?
In this current current climate, I think Wack100 can get the credit. I think people in this current time may have maybe one trend he can get credit for starting. I think people are trying to keep up with what they've seen being able to be shown when you do record somebody. And I think it's just a real gray line. It's hard for me to pass judgment. I think some people have been recorded at times when it wasn't warranted, and I think it's a thin line. But it's hard for me to just speak against recording in general because I've been recording Buck Jenner for like almost 20 years, putting it out on the internet based on this is not no from our culture, or it was nothing nowhere near incriminating, but I understand the element of saying one thing and then getting over here saying another thing. And that there, I can get why someone would love to record you and get you. So I don't judge everybody that records every individual the same way. On my mama. But some of this recording is extremely questionable. I can say that too.
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.